Chapter 3. Queen of the Castle. "Raise the drawbridge," Sir George commanded, his voice carrying up to the sentinels stationed along the castle parapet. "Our queen is home." At once, the guards engaged the mechanism, and the great drawbridge began to rise slowly from the depths of the moat. As Monica crossed, she found herself reflecting on earlier days when the bridge had been lowered to welcome visitors with ease. After the devastation wrought by Griffin's forces, the castle's defences had clearly been reinforced, either a necessary evolution born of war, or yet another subtle shift in the timeline she had helped reshape. Queen Monica breathed in awe as she passed beneath the castle's imposing archway. The gardens beyond had regained their previous grandeur. What had once been scorched and ruined in the aftermath of Griffin's assault now flourished with life. Flowers bloomed in vibrant colour, greenery stretched outward in careful symmetry, and the air itself seemed lighter, renewed. "Behold the Queen," cried Thomas Greenfield, the royal horticulturist, abruptly halting his pruning. At his call, the gardeners paused in unison and fell to one knee as their sovereign approached. "Welcome home, Your Majesty," Thomas said, his voice filled with reverence. Monica stopped, visibly moved. "It brings me immense joy to see you and the rest of the gardeners safe and thriving," she said warmly. "You have done remarkable work restoring the gardens from ruin." Thomas lowered his head humbly. "Just as your beloved mother once envisioned, Your Majesty," another gardener added softly. "Thank you," Monica replied, her gratitude sincere. "Now let's make sure the castle staff is as safe and healthy as these gardens." With that, she continued onwards in the heart of the castle. Behind her, the gardeners bowed deeply before returning to their work, tending lovingly to the grounds that stood as a living symbol of renewal, resilience, and hope. As the great doors of the castle swung open, Monica found herself momentarily breathless. Before her lay the main hall, reborn in all its ancestral splendour, restored not merely to what it once was, but elevated, as though history itself had been carefully retouched by a master's hand. Stepping inside, her gaze was instinctively drawn upwards to the vaulted ceiling, where resplendent frescoes unfurled in golds and deep azures. They told silent stories of valour and triumph, each brushstroke a tribute to the castle's long and storied past. It felt as though the stones themselves remembered every battle fought and every victory won beneath them. Towering columns stood like solemn sentinels, framing the processional path leading to the dais. The gentle flicker of torchlight spilling from iron sconces along the walls caught their marble faces, casting soft, dancing shadows. Between the columns hung richly coloured banners, proudly bearing the symbols of the kingdom's lineage. Their presence gave the hall a quiet dignity. Underfoot, the floor was a marvel in its own right, a meticulously crafted mosaic of polished stone, laid with precision to honour the legacy it represented. Along the path, finely woven rugs stretched towards the throne, new in their making, yet steeped in the patterns and traditions of centuries past, offering a hushed welcome with every step. The walls had been transformed into a gallery of history and resilience. Tapestries once threatened by fire now hung restored, their threads depicting serene pastoral scenes alongside moments of noble courage, a balance of peace and strength woven into fabric. At the heart of the hall stood the great hearth, newly rebuilt. Each stone had been set with reverence, the carved mantle echoing the craftsmanship of those who had first shaped it generations ago. The fire, burning within, cast a warm, inviting glow, a symbol of life and fellowship reclaimed. Above all, upon the dais, the throne commanded the hall with quiet authority. Scarred by flame, yet carefully restored, it stood as a testament to an unbroken lineage, steadfast, enduring, and resolute as the stone from which it had been fashioned. This was the same hall that had once suffered under Emperor Griffin's destruction, yet now it stood renewed, not merely as a structure of stone and mortar, but as a living monument to the kingdom's resilience, a hall of memory and promise, ready to bear witness to the chapters still to come in Raybrandt's enduring saga. As Monica stepped gracefully into the great hall, a distinguished assembly of royal servants stood in immaculate formation, ready to welcome their queen. Each held a position of trust and responsibility, their duties integral to the smooth running of the court and the preservation of the castle's dignity and splendour. At the forefront stood Sir Reginald Thorne, the royal chamberlain. As the vigilant guardian of the castle's chambers, he oversaw their immaculate presentation and ensured that every royal ceremony unfolded with flawless precision and decorum. Beside him was Master Gaius Proditor, renowned throughout the kingdom for his wisdom and measured counsel. As the Queen's personal advisor, he guided Monica in matters of governance and statecraft, managing the castle's affairs during her absence and offering insight shaped by years of experience. Dame Elspeth Shaw, dignified and exacting in her manner, fulfilled the vital role of keeper of the robes. With meticulous care, she oversaw the royal wardrobe, safeguarding garments steeped in history and symbolism, and ensuring that the court's attire always reflected elegance, refinement, and authority. Standing with quiet confidence was Lady Amabel Fawn, the mistress of herbs. She embodied the union of scholarship and healing, her deep knowledge of medicinal plants, making her both the castle's healer and the keeper of ancient therapeutic wisdom, passed down through generations. Sir Geoffrey Black, the royal armourer, represented strength and readiness. A master of his craft, he supervised the forging, maintenance and repair of the castle's weapons and armour, ensuring that every blade and breastplate was kept in flawless condition, ready to defend the realm should the need arise. Nearby stood Master Simon Fuller, the royal scribe, quill in hand and parchment at the ready. Tasked with recording the proceedings of the court and the weight of every royal decree, he chronicled the kingdom's history with care and precision, preserving its legacy for future generations. Finally, Lady Marjorie Book, the royal librarian, completed the assembly. A visionary custodian of knowledge, she devoted her life to preserving and curating the royal library, safeguarding the kingdom's most treasured works of literature, scholarship, and history with unwavering dedication. Together, these devoted servants formed the backbone of the royal court, bound by loyalty, expertise, and a shared sense of purpose. They stood ready to support their queen, protect the castle's heritage, and uphold the honour and prestige of the realm as it entered a new age under Monica's rule. Master Gaius, bowing down to his ruler, humbly said, "Your Highness, it brings us immense joy and great relief to see that you have returned to us unharmed." His voice carried sincere reverence. "We have long awaited this moment and prayed fervently for your safe return, so that we might continue to serve the crown with loyalty and devotion. It is a comfort to see so many of my father's faithful servants still standing after the assault," Monica replied, gratitude softening her words, though a shadow of sadness lingered beneath them. Yet, it seems, not all were so fortunate. Lady Marjorie stepped forward to deliver the sombre news. Her expression was composed, but her eyes reflected quiet grief and steadfast resolve. "Your Highness, we mourn the loss of Lady Guinevere, Sir Barrington, Lady Philippa, and Sir Nolan. They gave their lives defending the people of the kingdom. Their courage and selflessness will never be forgotten, and they shall be honoured for generations to come." "I understand," Monica said gently. "Have their families been cared for?" "Rest assured, Your Highness," Master Simon replied reassuringly. "We have ensured that their families will receive full compensation for their loss. They have also been offered sanctuary within the castle, should they wish to remain here and find comfort among us." Monica nodded, visibly relieved. Knowing that their loved ones had not been overlooked, eased some of the weight pressing upon her heart. She then turned to Sir Reginald. "Judging by your enthusiasm," she said lightly, "I take it preparations for the coronation are already underway?" "We have been working tirelessly, Your Majesty," Sir Reginald replied, a spark of excitement brightening his voice. "All is progressing well. We expect the coronation to be ready within the week, ideally on a weekend, so that the people may attend freely and share in this historic moment." "Excellent," Monica said, smiling genuinely. She then looked back to her advisor. "Master Gaius, I would like to retire to my private quarters. Please join me there shortly. There are pressing matters we must discuss." "Of course, my queen," Gaius replied, bowing respectfully. Turning to two waiting handmaidens, he gestured towards them. "Lisa, Tilly, please escort Her Majesty to her chambers." "Yes, Master Gaius," the handmaidens answered in unison. They bowed deeply before Monica, then stepped aside to guide her onwards. Together, they made their way through the corridors towards the Queen's chambers, all keenly aware that the day's events were only the beginning, and that much remained to be discussed in the hours ahead.